Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's great to be here again. Yeah, we're back like we never left. We couldn't be here last week, yeah, due to logistics, but it's getting better. Yeah, thank you. And thank you for joining me. And as you're coming in, please kindly go to the comment section to let me know that you can hear me. Please let me know that I can be heard so that I know that I am audible. I need to be heard because we're talking something very interesting today. Yes, anyone with a teenager knows that a teenager is quite a handful. And then if you now have two, if you have three, wow, that's a whole lot of work, a whole lot of changes that is going on. Please, can you hear me? Yes, let me know that you can hear me in the comment section. Thank you for joining me. My name is Fumilola Williams. I am a teens coach. I've been working with teenagers for years, and we run an academy, but it is strictly for girls. Yes, we have a curriculum. We walk them through to so that when they emerge at the other side, they become a teenager that you really want, a teenager that is ready to take their world, ready to make changes, and ready to do everything that God has proposed that they do. So if you have such teenager, please bring them on to our academy, and we will work together with you. Don't forget, you are the most important person, but at teenage, you are not the most influential. There has to be other adults. It is that other adult system that we're working with at the academy. So thank you for joining me. I don't take it for granted. I am really grateful. Thank you so very much. So today we'll be talking about how to walk your teenagers through teenage. That is what we'll be talking about. Please kindly give me a moment. Yeah, we're talking about walking your teenager through difficult phases. Everyone knows how it can be having a teenager. Please, can you hear me? I like to know in the comment section if I can be heard. Please, I like to know, can I be heard from the comment section? So, how do you help your teenager? How do you help them navigate their stages? Don't forget, we already said this, that when it comes to teenage, it is the most vulnerable period of life. That is when opinions are being formed. That is when issues are going on physically, psychologically, physiologically, everywhere. So there are times that they are going to they will have it up to here, literally. So that kind of time, what do you do with your teenagers? How do you assist them? And don't forget, your work at this stage is not to start shouting, why are you this, why are you that? Your work at this stage is to support them. For example, your teen is having a difficult time. How do you help him navigate? Or for example, he's having an issue in school or a challenge, and then it's not even convenient. I mean, he's not comfortable, or she's not comfortable talking about it. How can you, as a parent, how can you help your teenager walk through a difficult phase, knowing that these phases, until they emerge into adulthood, these phases will keep coming. Yeah, it will keep coming. It's a lie to. I mean, it's not going to happen that your teenager is going to have a smooth sail through adulthood. It's not going to happen. Don't forget, they are forming life opinions. There are a lot of things is happening to them. Pressure is there, peer pressure, wanting to feel among, wanting to belong, a whole lot of things, a whole lot of things. So, as a parent of a teenager, how do you help your teenager navigate through difficult phases? And don't forget, I told you, my name is Fumilola Williams. I work with teenagers. If you have a girl from 8 to 18, please feel free to bring them to our academy. We have a curriculum that is rich. I can assure you that we have worked with several teenagers, and then there are results. Teenagers are able to achieve the mind shift. We talked about that last week. So they're able to achieve that mind shift, that mind shift of the righteous that the sutras talk about. Yes, we already have teenagers that are already working in that line. So we can work together with you. I appreciate that you are here with me. I do not take your time for granted. Yeah, how to walk your teenager through difficult phases. How do you, as a parent, begin to walk your teenager through it? When your teenager begins to show signs of having issues, how do you assist? Don't forget, your work is to help, is to guide and to support. How do you begin to do this when you don't even know what your assignment is? All right, that is what we'll be discussing this evening. The number one thing to do the number one thing to do. Please, I'd like to know if I can be heard in the comment section. Thank you very much. If you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know in the comment section. And as we go on in this class, if anything resonates with you, please feel free to put in the comment section. If there's anything you want to be doing differently, also feel free to put in the comment section. Yeah, let's go. So, how do you navigate? How do you walk your teenager through a difficult phase? As a parent of a teenager, you have to first of all understand that these phases will happen. Yeah, some people, a parent teenager, like they're dreaming, like they don't know, like they're not aware that this will happen. That shouldn't You shouldn't be caught unawares. You should know that parenting a teenager, you have to know that's where it starts. Like what you said, that parenting starts with you. So everything about this journey starts with you, basically. So you have to understand that difficult phases will happen. Of course, you can remember when you were also a teenager. Sometimes there are days you don't want to talk to anybody. They talk to you, you shun them, you want to be by yourself. So these kind of things will happen. Yeah. So because you are an adult now, suddenly you are forgotten. Your teenager is not going to escape any of the processes that you also went through. But what the idea is that you are able, because you are better, you are knowledgeable now, you know better now. You are able to help your teenager. The help you didn't get then, you are able to render it to your teenager now to make that transitioning as seamless as it could possibly be. So please, parents of teenagers, understand that this will happen. Phases will happen. They'll be moody, they'll be cranky. There are times they will not want to talk to you. There are times that their siblings will irritate them. There are times that they can even go on crying spree. I assure you that. Because even we adults, it happens to us. There are times we feel like, oh, this Ed, can you just calm down? As adults, we feel so. So if you feel so, how much more teenagers? How much more? Children that are just trying to understand their feelings, they're just trying to know their emotions, they're trying to know their temperament, they're trying to make friends, they're trying to feel among. A whole lot of things is happening to them during teenage. So please, you have to understand that this will happen. So that when you start seeing these signs, you will know that we've already had this conversation. Then you will know, oh, this is what we talked about. Then how do I begin to help my teenager? But if it catches you unawares, your teenager is throwing tantrum. You too, you are throwing tantrum. We do it. Our children are hang. For example, for example, they will say, "Mommy, why are you shouting?" I say, "I'm not shouting, but mommy, you are." Our children is throwing tantrum. We too, we are throwing the tantrum. So who is the adult? Don't forget, they had the children, we had the adults. So please, the moment you understand that these things will happen, I think it gives you, for example, now, Yoruba people will say that so that in case of a person that can't hear, that is why you will see that it's about to fall. The rain is about to fall, rather. And the one that can't see, that is why he will hear that the rain is about to fall. So you have to understand that difficult phases will definitely come. Why? Your teenager is going through a whole lot of processes at the same time. And it will be too bad. It's easier if he or she has been prepared. The changes that come. I remember teenage time, my sister used to have turbulent period, a menstrual cycle. Turbulent. She wouldn't go to school for 2 days, for 3 days, and then you start wondering. That would be a difficult phase. I imagine having to do that every month. So what difficult phase is can be different. It varies. So, but you have to know, first of all, please, these stages will happen. It might be mild. Some children are different according to temperament, so it might be mild, it might be easy, but there are ones that will be difficult. Some will have it easier than the other. So whatever category your teenager falls into, please understand that these phases will come. Start preparing your mind now. If you don't have a teenager yet, start preparing your mind for the time that the phases will come. If you have, please let this sink into your mind that definitely your teenager is going to have a difficult phase. That the next thing you have to know to be able to help them through that phase is you have to understand that difficult phase is relative. Is relative. See, it doesn't have to be magnanimous. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be anything bothering your teenager that is not he or she's not able to wrap his or her head around is a difficult phase. It could be something as simple as a friend not liking them. Yeah, yeah, everybody, we are all social beings. We all want to connect. It could be something as simple as that. And then she doesn't know how to navigate that area. She doesn't know how to live with the fact that it's not everyone that's gonna like them. It could be like that. It could be a challenge with a subject in class. It could be not meeting up to perceived standard. It could be anything. So it's relative. And so the reason I'm saying this to us is so that we don't downplay their faces for them. For example, imagine how frustrating it can be for you as an adult. You want to go to work tomorrow. You have planned what you want to wear. You have planned everything. Your day is planned already, and somewhere along the line, you can't find you find that a particular file that you should take to work is missing. You can imagine how that is going to disturb you. You can imagine how that will bother you. So, same for teenagers. Whatever it is that they say it's difficult, please don't downplay it. Don't try and say, what's the big deal in this? Please, that is you trying to downplay how they're feeling. That is you trying to downplay whatever it is that is happening to them part time. Please don't do that, because when you do that, they shut down on you because they know that you do not understand them already. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised the things that strangers have told me. I remember them telling, so many of them have told me that, see, when I come to church, I don't want to look up. I don't want to look up. Why? Because there's somebody that I don't want to meet. I don't want to have eye contact with. And then they have issues upon issues upon issues, and their parents are not even aware. So please, whatever it is that you have, don't say what's the big deal. Don't say what is the big deal. What are you going through with that? So the way we just downplay people's emotions and all of that. It's saying something like what are you going through that's not happened to somebody before? That is not being culturally intelligent, because your time is different from theirs. So what you struggled with is different from what they will be struggling with. So it is not culturally intelligent to tell your teenager that what is the problem with you? Why? What you are trying to invalidate their emotion. So please, parents of teenagers, understand that. Please understand that understand that understand that I'm sorry about that. So please understand that difficult phases are relative. It could be anything. It could be serious, it could be big, it could be an issue, it could not be an issue. Whatever it is that they perceive to be an issue, please look into it. Don't forget, I've told us in this class that it is our business to be in the business of our children. So don't say you'll get over it. Don't. That's a dangerous assumption to make. What if he never does? Or what if she never does? Or what if she never navigates that area properly? Or what if she never picks the lesson that she should pick? So please understand that difficult phases is relative. The fact that you're an adult, you're able to manage so well, does not mean that your teenager will be able to do so. The fact that you are all grown now and then you seem to understand everything and all of that, doesn't mean that your teenager is also able to do the same. So please understand that their difficult phase is relative. So your own and it is, I mean, I've told us these things before. Your teenager will not come to you to come and say, "Mommy, this is what I'm going through." It's hardly, except that the connection is really, 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 really there. It's rare that a teenager will walk up to you. They expect you to figure out what the matter is and then help them with the solution. So how do you begin to do that when whatever it is that they are going through? So please, number one, to help them through a difficult phase, understand that it will happen. Number two, understand that difficult phases is relative. So don't begin to downplay how they feel. Please, can anyone hear me? Please, I'd like to know in the comment section if I can be heard. I'd like to know that I'm not just talking to myself. Please, can I be heard? Thank you. I'll be waiting for the comment right in the comment section. All right. So number three thing to do is strengthen their adversity quotient. Yeah, you have to learn to do that. Strengthen their adversity quotient by walking them through your own story. That's what we have to learn to do. Oh, thank you very much. I can be heard. Thank you. So you have to strengthen their adversity quotient. It is very important. How do you do this? You let them know, because one thing, I told us already, don't let us shield our teenagers from the world. Don't let us, because the world will happen. The world will happen and will not always be there. I have said this over and over again. I have said this over and over again. So please strengthen their adversity quotient. Let them understand that things will happen in life. things will happen. And then you can now do that. How do you do that? By sharing your experience with them. Some of us, our children know absolutely nothing about us. I don't know how we even do that. As a matter of fact, I have told my daughter the story of my life so much so that by the time I want to say something again, oh, thank you very much, I can be heard. So much so that when I want to say it, like, you say, Mommy, I already know that. You told me that already. But some of us, we are just this perfect. We're just perfect. I don't know who gave us that idea. We're just perfect. Our children don't know what happened to us as teenagers, so that they can even pick lessons from it, so that they can even learn from it. They don't know how we struggled. I've told my daughter how I struggled so much with mathematics through secondary school. Is this secondary or primary? So much so that I didn't want her to have that same struggle. So I started working immediately the moment I had her. So please, that is how to build adversity quotient. Let them know that this thing that is happening, whatever it is, it has happened to people before. It will happen to people again. So it is not new to them. So that way they don't feel weird. They don't feel like, oh, if I say this thing, nobody's gonna understand me. If I dare say this thing, nobody's gonna have an idea of what it is that I am going through. So that is how to build the adversity quotient. Walk them through your experience. Walk them through your experience. Through your own journey, your own mistakes, your own struggles, and how God came through. Because it is still that same God yesterday, today, and forever. So if he came through, he's going to come through for them. You will not know. But when you do that, you are strengthening their adversity quotient. You are making them, you're giving them wings to fly. Literally. So they will know that whatever it is that they're going through, they will come through it. But how are they going to know when you don't even tell them? So I challenge us as from today. When you see that something is happening, you don't even have to wait until something happens. You can tell them about how you cope with a particular situation, because that situation will also repeat itself, maybe just in another dynamic because of the generational differences. So please, dear parents, build the adversity quotient of your teenager. Walk them through your story. Walk them through your story. Walk them through your story and how God came through. That's how to build strength in them. Don't forget, I told us, number one thing you have to do, we have to understand that difficult phases will definitely come. Number two, don't downplay it. Understand that it's relative. Let me let you know. The way we'll feel frustrated about certain things is the way your teenager will feel frustrated about something as if she feels uncomfortable with her body size. Either she feels that she's too slim or she's too big or something or the other. That's the same way. It doesn't the fact that she's a teenager, they're also human beings. They're just younger human beings. So don't downplay how they feel. So, and I also said, build their adversity quotient. Let them know that this life is going to happen. Walk through your journey with them. Let them know the things that happen to you. Some of us, I said it, our children know nothing about us. Nothing. Hi, how do we even do it? It is when you tell them that they're able to relate with you. They're able to relate with you. I have shared so many experiences with my daughter, so much so that when things happen, she just naturally picks the cue, like, oh, okay, this is it. But if you never share these things, they will think that they are the only one left out. So, and as you are doing this, you are building their adversity quotient. Then the next thing to do is don't force conversations out of them if they don't want to. At that stage, don't forget I already told us. Your teenager, yes, I agree. You are the most important because you are the mother or the father of that child at that point. But you're not the most influential. So you can't be blackmailing them by saying things like, I want to tell me what's going on with you. No, don't do that. The more you blackmail them, the more you do all of that, the more they shut down on you. And I tell you, you don't want to experience a teenager shutting down on you. It's not funny. It's not funny. 1 hour, she will not say a word. 2 hours, she will not say a word. Why do you want to frustrate yourself like that? So if she doesn't want to have conversations at that time, don't forget, I told you, they are processing things in their head. They're trying to understand life. They're trying to understand what's happening to them. So please, don't force conversations out of them if they don't want to. You can just say something like, okay, do you want to share with me? Do you feel like you want to share with me? And you say, no, mommy, no, or later. Please let it be. But you cannot encourage them to journal their thoughts. And this is where journaling is very key. At the Parents Academy where I am learning, the coach, we have a journal that we our activities every day with our children. We journal it. Why? We're trying to teach them the power of journaling. So if he doesn't want to talk to you, she can go and talk to her diary. If he doesn't want to talk to you, he can go and talk to he can go and have his or her own private time. So don't force it. Any forced conversation, you're not gonna get through to the mind of your teenager or to the heart. So instead of forcing them, encourage journaling. And then another thing you need to do to be able to walk your teenager through a difficult phase, let them know that you are present and you are available. Let them know. See, if your teenager, don't forget, I think I already told us, be loving your teenager in the language that your teenager is receiving the love. You can be thinking you are loving the person, and the person feels unloved. How are you going to ever connect to that kind of a person? So let them know. Let them know that you're present. Let them know that you are available. You can just be like something like, you know what? Whenever you feel that you want to talk to me about this, it's fine. I am always here. My ears are always on ground. So let them know. And how do you let them know? Don't assume that they know. I watched a movie at a time, and then for every time, I can't even remember the name of the movie now, but the girl is a 15, 14, going through serious issues in school, serious ones. And for every time she goes to knock on her mommy's door to say, Mommy, can I have a word with you? The mommy is busy on a laptop. See, my coach told me something, and I started doing it intentionally since that time. Do you remember my daughter says, Mommy, whatever I'm doing, I drop it then. Because that is a call for attention. That is a call for love. So let them know that you're present and that you're available. So, what you don't know is that all the times that your teenager is calling you, you're pressing your phone, or he's calling you, you're saying, I'll get back to you, or she's calling you, you're saying, I'm busy, or she's calling. I know that I know, please don't misunderstand me. I know that there are times that you'll be tired. But even if you are tired, can you tell the teenager, okay, please, can you give, let me tell you what happens. Anytime I come back from work, my head is full because of the things that I'm trying to learn and all of that. And as I'm dropping my bag, my girl is saying, Mommy, can we go to the park? And I said, okay, please, can you give me a moment? So I have, first of all, what did I do? I have acknowledged that, okay, she has a right to ask her mother to go to the park with her. But what have I done? Say, can I just breathe for a while? But don't shut down how they do. So it's a child that you have been shutting down. You will never feel that you are available and that you're present. You will never feel. You will never feel so. So let them know. Tell them. Don't assume that they know. And it's very funny how you're loving your children. My coach will say that you can love your child and then the child will never feel loved and then you can still destroy the child. That's how funny these things are. So please, let them know that you're present, you are available for whatever it is. We've talked about 5 things already. Don't understand. Don't be doing as if this thing will go and meet you like a shock. Don't be doing as if you don't know that your teenager is going to have boy issues somewhere along the line. Don't be doing as if you don't know that your teen boy is going to be struggling with confidence somewhere along the line. Don't let it be a shock to you. Understand that it will happen. Understand that it is relative. Strengthen the adversity quotient. Walk them through your story and how God came through. Don't force them to have conversations. Don't. For God's sake, even the ones that are not teenagers, if they say everything is fine, it's fine. What do you want to do? So please don't force them to have conversations with you. Because as a matter of fact, if there has been connection between you and them prior to that time, you will not have to force conversations. They will naturally come to you. But because of the teenage, because of whatever it is that is going on in their head, they may not feel comfortable having that conversation with you at that time. Please don't go and start shouting up, hey, what are you talking to? Don't forget, they are also human beings. Then let them know that if they don't want to have the conversation. Okay, how about it can be something like, okay, do you know what? You don't want to talk now. Do you want to talk? Do you want us to talk about this later? Can we come later and talk about this? Something like that. Let them just know that they have your ears. Let them know. Teenagers are very funny, okay? They will not talk, but they're registering everything somewhere in their mind. They know that really if they're in trouble, they can actually go and meet their parents. So don't assume that they know. Let them know that you are present. Another thing you need to do to help them walk through difficult phase is encourage them or signpost them to their other adults. And I hope that by now, everyone hearing me, you're already strategically positioning other adults in the life of your children. Because the time will come that those other adults are the ones that will come in handy. Yeah. So if they are willing, if you're so fortunate and then you're so connected to your teenager and then she opens up to you, oh, bravo, well done. But if she doesn't, or if he doesn't, signpost them to their other adults. Who are their other adults? Trusted adults that you have strategically placed in their life. People like their mentors, people that you also are looking up to, people that you trust, that in the event that you are not available, these people would be able, on the count of fingers, we can count other adults that we have already positioned somewhere, just in case something happens to mommy or daddy or something. So begin to don't let your teenager be at a loss at any point in time. Don't create that gap. Encourage them. If they have not been able to talk to you, they have not been able to open their mind. Okay, I understand. And then you have tried, don't forget, you have tried to walk through your story with them. They don't still want to talk about whatever the matter is. Signpost them to their other adults. And that is why if your teenagers don't have other adults, please start intentionally working on one as you are listening to this class. If you have a girl, please bring them to our academy from age 8 rather, from age 8 to 18, there's a category for them. If you have a boy, I have boy coaches that I can, I can let you know, and then they walk the journey with you. And if you have people that you are looking up to yourself, please introduce your daughter or your son to these people. Those are the other adults that will help you. There's this place in the scriptures that talks about a man that if he falls, he sees somebody to lift him up. But it is war, someone that falls and then nobody can bear him up. That is the role the other adults will play in the life of your child for the time when they don't want to talk to you. I cannot overemphasize this. We cannot stretch this enough. Only you by yourself. You cannot raise a whole child. A child that you want him or her to compete in the international world, in the international community, you want him to stand on world stage, you can't do the job alone. As a matter of fact, as the child grows, you have to be changing those what's it called now? Those other older adults, those other trusted adults. You have to be changing them as occasion demands, as the purpose as the purpose in the life of your child demands. For example, your child wants to be a tech guru. You can't go and make the older adult to be someone that is not in that line. I don't know whether you understand what I am saying. So as parents, we have to put these things in place. And don't forget, your children, I cannot count how many times I said this already. You are important in their lives, but during teenage, you are not the most influential. Pop culture, their friends, yeah, their environment, and the other adults. You are the last on that ladder of importance, according to Bringing Up Boys and Girls by what's the name of the author now? According to the author. So please signpost them, encourage them, or signpost them to their other adults. Another thing you can do to make to walk this stage with your teenager is make knowledge accessible to them on the face. Yeah, make knowledge accessible. If you're so fortunate, your teenager tells you what it is that the matter is, what it is that they are going through. Please for example, if it's issue of friendship, if your teen is finding it hard to socialize, or if your teen is finding a particular subject difficult, or or a particular there's a particular gap in the academic line, make knowledge accessible to them on that face. Let them know. So don't go something like, if she doesn't want to be your friend, you to leave her. No. Teach them how to make friends. You know what? It's actually a skill to be likable. I just add that it's actually a skill for people to like you. So it's not something that just jumps on you. I'm sure you know people like that they're the life of their life of everywhere. You can't but like them. You can't but not like them. How's the English spoken now? So if they have now told you what the issue is, please make knowledge accessible to them. That's how they grow. If they are struggling with self-esteem, get books on self-esteem, how to grow confidence. If your boy is struggling with discipline, get tasks, get chores to build confidence. If your girl is struggling with self-esteem, get books, get sessions, get learnings on how to teach self-esteem. That's how to help them. Not by saying, why are you shy? You can't look at the crowd. What's that? What's that? Like, really? And I've told us, once you notice a gap in your child, that's an error, that's a fault on your part. Not you alone, even me that I am speaking. If there's a gap in the life of the child you are parenting, that's an error on your part. So please, can you fix that error? Can you stop assuming that a child will parent herself by herself? Can you stop saying things like, what do you mean you cannot face the crowd? When you have never faced the crowd? Can we stop saying things like that? Because our teenagers will see us for who we are, that we are just two-faced. The things that we have not done, then we are bearing down so hard on them for being human. For being human. So please make knowledge accessible. So don't go something like, when I was in school, I was having A's all around. Don't go like that. So if you have noticed the gap, please seek to bridge it. Seek to bridge the gap rather. Make knowledge accessible to them on that face. If it is difficult conversations that they can't have, if it is avoid whatever it is that they are going through, even if it is a boy issue. If your teenager comes to you and says something like, I'm beginning to have feelings for this boy or something, if they come to you, be blessed. You should feel blessed that they're able to have that conversation with you. So the question is, when they now come to you with these kind of things, what are you going to say to them? Will you go like, hey, you want to start following boy? And then you go all over the place and just have you sort of things. Is that how you're going to go? Or you're going to make knowledge accessible? Or you're going to have a dating plan? Or you're going to agree what dating is in your home, what dating is for in your home? Is it just for recreation or is it just for marriage? Or you're going to go, you want to go with the following boy, because why? You remember what has happened to you. You now you start reliving whatever it is through your children. Can we not do that? Can we really not do that right now? So can we, if we see these gaps, if we see these faces, can we make knowledge accessible? So how do you make knowledge accessible on the issue of a girl? Your girl has come to you to say that he has having a crush on a boy. You have to sit the girl down. That's the time to have the conversation. If you've not been having it prior, that's the time to sit down and talk about it. Okay, this boy, what is the matter? What's going to happen if I now start saying I want to have a boyfriend now? What are the pros and cons? Do I want to get married now? What is your family saying about sexual purity, for example? What is the stand of your family? Do you believe in sex before marriage? These are the things that you want to start talking about there. Not that, hey, you want to start following boy. The child will just look at you and be like, I wish we know the things that our children, what goes through their mind when we do the things that we do. So please, can you make knowledge accessible? Can you let them buy books on dating so that they know whether they are ready for it or not? So that they can make their choice. At least they will make the choice with proper guidance. That is what an intentional, a deliberate parent will do. Don't forget, we have talked about like 7 things or 6. I said, understand that difficult phases will come. Understand that difficult phases is relative. So don't make it unimportant because it's not important to you, but it is important to your child. And because it is important to your child, it has to be important to you, except you're not ready to do the work of parenting. Except that. Then strengthen their adversity quotient by walking them through your own story and how God came through for you. As a 14-year-old, I remember that I wanted to be liked. Oh, I really wanted to be liked. That's coming from somewhere in my childhood. So if my daughter comes to me and says, Mommy, I feel left out in class, I'm not going to say, you are your own friend. You are enough to be your friend. No, I'm not going to say all of those things. So it is relative. The fact that it's not important to you does not mean that it is not important to your teenager. And I also told us, strengthen the adversity quotient. Tell them your stories. Tell them. Yes, there's a provider. There's a rider to this. To the level to which they will understand. At least as far as much as it concerns the situation they're also going through. Every of the thing that is happening to our teenager now are things that have happened to us. Didn't we have crushes in 14, 13, 12, even 10? Didn't we have? How did we manage it? Were our parents able to help us manage? So whatever it is, walk them through your story. Don't let them feel like they're the only wet person, they're the only hot person here. So don't force conversations. I told you, you are important, but you're no longer influential. If they want to journal, let them journal. Let them know that you are present. Let them know that you are available. If you're, as a matter of fact, if your teenager knows that you are available, even if he doesn't come to you immediately, is he or she's going to come to you eventually? If he knows that you're present, he knows that you're available, he's going to come. Let them know that you're present. Let them know that you're available. Encourage them. There's another way to walk them through their difficult phases. Encourage them or signpost them to their other adults. Are you putting the other adults in place in the life of your children? Or you're still saying, that's how they parented us? Or you're still saying something like, no, what is my coach, my coach, you say, I'm so sorry, my coach, you say, your team coach is not your enemy. He wants to help you with your child. You say, your enemies is the social media. Your enemy is the Netflix. Your enemy is the Wi-Fi unlimited. Your enemy is that phone that you give to your child. That's your enemy, not the teen coach that is just trying to help you with your children. So don't say things like, they just want to collect our money. I don't want to tell, I can't, this is, you don't want to know the things I will pay to learn the things I will learn. So please, don't be saying, the other they say, don't say that. It is very, very, you don't say that at all. Not this Gen Z, not this Gen Alpha. Please don't say that. Signpost them to your other adults, to their other adults. Let them know. It could be mentors, it could be coaches, it could be people that you also respect and look forward to. Then make knowledge accessible. I said last week we were talking about filling their brain. Yes, something like that. Something about protecting them from the poverty of the mind. Let them have information. A lot of these struggles that they have is because there is lack of information. And that gap is from you, the parent, not from them. The moment your child is 7, you should get puberty books in your house. Don't even tell me that you're not doing that. The moment your child is 8, please start getting books on crushes, on body changes, developmental changes, things that will happen. Please get these books. Let them read it. Read it together with them. That's how to grow together with your teenager. Most of these struggles is, are you aware that some children, as young as they are, they already know that, oh, this is where I am going. It's a deliberate programming. So those kind of people, they have less things to struggle with. That is not to say that they also will not struggle, because they're also going to be faced with peer pressure at one time or the other. So please make knowledge accessible. Don't say it's too expensive. I told us already. If you must choose between a cloth and a book, please, by all means, choose the book. Make knowledge accessible. Most of these struggles they have is because there is a knowledge gap. Another thing to do to help them, let them know that phases pass. How many of us will agree to this? Phases pass. There's this cliche in Nigeria parlance that, you know what, I don't feel kill myself, I cannot come and die, that kind of thing. It's a phase, it will pass. And they will not pass with it. No, rather, the phase will leave and they will still be standing. I know it's quite overwhelming when it is happening to them. Imagine being the odd one out. Imagine being the one that is not liked. Imagine being the one that is struggling with the mathematics. Imagine being the one that is having the least score in English. Imagine being the one that is having the most difficult menstrual pain. Imagine being the one that is shy, that cannot look at people. Imagine. These things are big in the minds of your teenager. Imagine being the one that cannot hold conversations. Just imagine. Imagine being the one that is at the butt of a bad joke in class. Imagine these things. It can be big for your teenagers. But you know what, parents? Let them know that it will pass. Let them know. It's a phase, it will pass. It will pass. At that point, they might be feeling, this is not ever going to end. But it will end. How will it end? By knowledge. He's shy, he can't look at the crowd. Let him do presentations for you. Let him talk to you. Let him look at you in the face in the house. Make presentations with him. Let him make presentations. Let him come and present to you. I have had times that I have said, okay, come and present to me. Imagine that I am the class you're delivering to. So if you see a gap, dear parents, please bridge the gap immediately. Don't forget, the people that these your teenagers are going to contend with are people that have had every advantage. And I think that those are one of the things that spoil me. I want to be sure that every advantage I can give to my child, I have actually done. Even though we're not God, we're not perfect, but at least we can do something. Let them know that that phase will pass. Let them know that phase will pass. Another thing to do, build their love tank at this stage of phase, this stage of difficult phase. Please build the love tank. How? Through their love language. Yeah, through their love language. When your child likes to be touched, this is time to touch them the most. Just a pat on the shoulder, a rub on the head, or a peck on the cheek. You know what? You got this. You know what? This will pass. You know what? You're going to still come and share this thing as a story. That's for a child that likes to be touched. For a child that likes words of affirmation, you can tell the child, you know what? You're bigger than what is happening right now. You know what? You are smart. You are this. You are that. For a child that likes words of affirmation, it's the one that likes act of service. Do things together. You'll be surprised that while the two of you are washing, whether it's actually a chore, yeah. But you know that is how your child shows love, and that's how you will know the child's love language is how she shows love. That's how they want to be loved. Then you now go there. Whether she's at a chore, she's doing a chore, you can be doing it together. Probably she's cooking, or she's mopping, or is weeding the compound. Do it together with him. You'll be shocked that the conversations will just flow easily from there. You are building that love tank. If it is the one that if it's the one that likes acts of service, you have done that. You have built that love tank. So the teenager knows that no matter what happens, I am not alone in this. No matter what happens, and I think that is the essence of family. That no matter what happens, there is always a set of people that believe in you, that are rooting for you. You don't know how much that takes us. Think of the words you heard as a teenager yourself. Think of it. Some of us, we have met some people in our lives while we were in teenage that till we would die, we would never forget. Why? Because of the way they treated us, the way they made us feel. It is the same. It is the same. It is exactly the same. Build their love tank at this stage through their love language. And I've told us 3 already: words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch. What's the other 2 now? It has skipped my mind. Quality time. As a matter of fact, there's no one that does not like quality time. Quality time. Spend with you. So we can be there on the bed together. You don't have to have anything to talk about. No. Not the one that will come to your room and say, go to your room. Eventually, as a parent was sharing with me today, a parent of a teenager. Okay, I think she put something on status and I saw it and now chatted. And she was like, I miss them. They have not even left her house, or she is away for just a couple of days. Before we know it, before we close these eyes and open it, these kids are gone. When did you give birth to them? Go and check their height. Already they're just 10, they're 11, and they're already competing with you in height. Before you know it, they are gone. But the question is, what have you put in them? Did you put enough in them to go and face the world? Because see, the world is going to happen. The world is going to happen. Build your love tank. I've forgotten the last one now. If I remember, I will say it before I leave this stream. So build their love tank at this stage through their love language. Encourage them to pick lessons. This is it. They have to pick lessons from that phase. Pick lessons on how to make friends, on how to be kind, on how to be empathetic, on whatever it is, on how to go through a challenge and not give up. Have you seen teenagers say, I can't write? Have you seen teenagers drop out of school? Is it not weird? Won't you wonder what happened? Teenager paid school fees, and somewhere along the line, the teenager says, I'm not going to school again. That's a face. Something has happened along the line. What has happened? So is it by dropping out? Is that the solution to whatever it is that the teenager is going through? Let's ask ourselves these things. So encourage them to pick lessons. And you know what? Until they pick the lessons, they'll sit down and make that face somewhere again. So they have to pick the lessons. So if throughout primary school he can't look through, he or she can't face the crowd, and then you just let it slide, you just glided through primary school like that. Okay, you're gonna glide through secondary school too. You're gonna glide through university, and when she gets a job, she's gonna have to present to her colleagues, and then you see her stuttering or shaking or fidgeting or any of those things. So they must pick the lessons. So that face is meant to teach them the lesson, and they have to pick it. So it can be like something like if for example, your teacher is saying nobody likes me in class, and then you can be like, okay, is there something that you do that they do not like, or what do you think? How can you make yourself likable? Do you want to give them a compliment or something like that? So that's the lesson they are picking from that, depending on whatever phase it is that they are going through. But if they don't pick the lesson, they will still go and meet the lesson somewhere. Of course, we adults we know that already. For whatever lesson we choose to pick, it's still waiting for us somewhere. So it's better let them do it and be done with it. Let them do it and be done with it. Don't walk the face for them. No, don't carry. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Don't carry the burden of your teenagers on your head. Everybody is carrying everybody in this life. That's what I've just realized. Carry yours, I carry mine, but somehow we support each other, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make healthy adults out of them. So don't walk that face for them. So if your teenager is struggling with English or English or mathematics, please don't go and buy results for them. Let them sit, let them learn, let them know. If he's struggling with communication, don't come and, for example, you go out and say, your teenager is, your child is doing fine. You're the one saying thank you. I can't understand it. They are complimenting your child. You're the one saying thank you. Can't she talk? Or for example, it is issues with friends, and she says, "Oh, and just tell her, you know what? You don't need anybody. Just leave them. Just snub them. And then I don't know. I don't understand that kind of thing. What lesson is there? Because at every we will need people. In short, till everybody, till all of us will go and meet God in heaven, we will keep needing each other. We're not self-sufficient. God made us that all of us can intermingle and then we'll be together. If there's anything I miss the most, I think that is it. We are born to, we are relational beings. Yeah, we are relational. I think that's it. Let me just put it that way. To encourage them to pick the lessons. So if they are struggling with their academics, don't encourage something like special center. Will you do special center in university too? And is there any special center in life? So let them pick the lessons. It will not kill them to pick the lessons. And finally, you have to signpost your teenagers to God. There is this book that my coach wrote, The Spiritually Intelligent Teenager. Please, it's on Amazon. You can go and buy. I'm not the one that wrote it. So it's not as if I'm trying to promote, even though I'll still promote my own. Yeah. So please signpost them to God. Let your teenager have a relationship with God. So that even if you're not there, even if no friend is there, no other adult is there, nobody is there, they're the only one there, they will know that they are not alone. Do you know how comforting that is? There have been times in my life that I've felt utterly, absolutely alone. But somehow I will just remember that for me, you know what? No matter what happens, God is with you. And you know what? No matter what you take from me, no matter where you put me in, no matter what happens, I might be down, I might be out, I might be what, somewhere, somehow. You know that scripture that talks about the seed, even though it falls down, but at the sight of rain, it will sprout again. So signpost your teenagers to God, because in this generation, anybody without God is gone. Is gone, like absolutely gone. Have you seen what teenagers are doing to themselves? Self-cutting, self-harming, suicide. Have you seen? What do you think is going on? I mean, when they do those things, what did you think? What did you think? They were in a place, they felt fixed. They felt alone. They felt ununderstood. They felt like alone. And they had parents. So don't even go be kidding with this thing. Don't even go be thinking it's a joke. If you don't help your teenager to have a relationship with God, you're going to have a problem somewhere along the line, because it's going to get to a point that the only person that can reach that teenager is that God that created him. So signpost them to God early. Let them know. used to tell my daughter that, see, whatever it is that we have right now, that is what God has allowed us to have. Whatever it is that we do not have right now, that means that God has not allowed us. No matter what it is, God cannot be overemphasized. A teenager that knows that there's a God in heaven that loves him will not go and slash his or her wrists. And please don't go and be saying that, hey, what's she talking about? Teenagers are self-harming. Teenagers are cutting themselves. Teenagers are injuring themselves. Do you want to imagine the kind of helplessness a person feels to the point of self-harming? A young person, does it not bother you? Does it not worry you? It worries me. How old? 13, 14, 15. What have you seen? What has happened to you? Please signpost your teenagers to God on time. Let them have a relationship with Him. Let them know Him. Because you know what? We won't always be here. Yeah. Even if we manage to push them through teenage, adulthood, some of us, like me, I don't have a dad. So we won't always be. Some of us, our parents, one parent is either gone or both parents are gone. One way we are here and then we have not died. So please signpost them to God. Let them know that whatever phase it is, there is a God in heaven. So that level of despair, that level of helplessness, that they do not lead to all the things that we see and read and hear, they won't ever have to get there. We've talked about almost 11 things, how to walk your teenager through a difficult phase. I talked about understand that a difficult phase will come. It is an unaware parent that your teenager will be having issue and then you are throwing tantrum everywhere. Understand that difficult phase is relative. Don't downplay it. Don't say it is not important. It is important to your teenager. If it is enough to bother him, it is important to your teenager. And if it is important to your teenager, it is important to you too. You have to understand that. Understand that strengthen their adversity quotient. Don't make them jellyfish. The way my coach will say. Don't make your child a jellyfish, that cannot withstand any pressure, cannot withstand anything, every small thing. Don't raise people like that. Not in this generation. Not in these times that we are in. Strengthen the adversity quotient. Let them know when I think I told my daughter the story of when I was in law school, and I think that was the first time in my life that I was really afraid I was going to fail. Do you know what? I had to remind myself of that story just this afternoon. Why? Because there's something I feel that, I might just fail. And I just remember that, if I didn't fail that, somehow I'm not going to fail this. So please, that's how to build adversity quotient. Walk them through your journey. Walk them through your story. Don't force conversations out of them. See, this thing, it doesn't have to happen. But for example, if you have not been doing the work, you're going to have to force the conversation. But this is not the time to force it. Because she might just be rude to you because already she's stressed. Imagine a stressed child and I still saying, what now? Talk to me now. And you know how parents, we know we are very funny. We know the things that we do. Don't force conversations out of them. Let them journal their thoughts. Let them know you're present. Please, no matter what is going on in your life, don't ever make your child feel you don't have their time. And you know what? They won't tell you. I watched a movie a long time ago. The woman was busy, banker, big woman, busy. And then the children were passed from one nanny to the other, one nanny to the other. At the point, one of the nannies introduced them to lesbianism. And they grew up, they became teenagers. And one day the mother woke up and realized that, wow, I watched the movie about 15 years ago. They're teenagers already. Of course, they were practicing lesbianism on each other. Children of the same mother. Why? Because they felt that their parents were not available, they were not present. So let them know that you are present. Encourage them or signpost them to their other adults. You are here, your child doesn't have a coach. No problem. I have told you we're running a teens academy for girls, strictly for girls. So encourage them, signpost them to their other adults. Make knowledge accessible to them. A struggle, right? Struggle is a sign of a knowledge gap. That's it. If they knew what to do, they're not going to struggle. If your teen knows how to make friends, she's not going to struggle. She'll just naturally make friends. If she knew mathematics, she wouldn't struggle. If he knows English, he's not going to struggle. So, a struggle is a sign of a knowledge gap. So, fill the gap. I mean, that's what parents do. Don't say, you are the dumbest. I don't even know where that's coming from. Fill the gap. Make knowledge accessible. Let them know that it's a phase, it will pass. Some of us, we have been in situations that we thought, oh, you choke, but somehow we passed. Somehow, God will just, something will just happen, and then there will be a way out. So let them know that the phase will pass. Then build their love tank using their love language. Don't go and be using your own love language to build the love tank of your teenager. It's not going to work. It's a failed strategy. One of the tools that we had the other day in the academy was that know the temperament of your child and something like that. How do you even know the temperament of your child that you don't even know the love language? If I ask us now, what's the love language of your child? Can please, if you want to answer me in the comments, please can you answer me? How does a child receive love? That's an assignment for you. Go and find out. I've told us like 4. It's 5 actually, but I've told us 4. Act of service, quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch. I've forgotten the 5th one now. So how does your child receive love? So please go and show that love. To go and build that love tank using that child's love language. Encourage them to pick lessons, because if they don't pick lessons, they're going to merry-go-round. They're going to walk in circles. And don't forget, you want to make the journey as short as possible for your children. So let them pick the lesson. Teach them how to make friends, build social skills, have dating plan. Let your teenager not be wondering, should I have a boyfriend? Should I not have a boyfriend? Because the pressure is going to come. So have the conversation now. That's what you should do. That's your job as a parent. If you want her to have a boyfriend, fine. If your boyfriending or whatever it is for a specific purpose, let her begin to know now. Not when everybody's now brandishing boyfriend and she's worried about, should I pick, should I not pick? Please don't be caught unawares. Have the conversation now. Encourage them to pick lessons. Let them know. Then signpost them. This is the most important. Signpost them to God. Because at the end of the day, the only entity that we all have is that God. So that no matter what they are going through, a teenager will never have to think that he has to slash his wrist. A teenager will not have to think that it's until he takes tramadol, until he takes codeine, until he takes. Do you see the videos of things that young people do to themselves? So don't let even begin to think that. Don't let's even begin to think that these things are not happening, because they are right in our noses. Signpost them to God. Let them know that God. Introduce them to that God. If you're a Christian here, there's that. I've mentioned that book. I'm sure it's not even about Christian or Muslim or anything. Please, your faith that you belong to, get them books on the religion. On your faith. Get them books on it. Build the inside. It is the inside you seek to build, because the pressures are real. Of course, adults, we know that. So when those pressures are there, when that face looks like it's not going to end, there'll still be a voice somewhere, no matter how dark, that, you know what, this is a face. I need to pass. I hope that you have learned something. The comment section is quiet. I think we still have a couple more minutes. So if you want to share with me what it is that you have learned, what it is that has resonated with you the most, I'd like to see the comments. I think I will really appreciate that. What is that thing that stood out for you the most in this session? Let me see the comments in the comment section. And don't forget all of these things. If it is just one that you are doing, you're doing something. You're much better than somebody that is just parenting by assumption. And don't forget, my name is Funmilola Williams. I am the lead coach at the Informed and Reformed Teens Academy. And the Informed and Reformed Teens Academy is an academy for teenage girls. We have a curriculum that we run the girls through to help them, to grow them, to mold them, to be everything. I mean everything. In conjunction with the parents, of course. We can't do it alone. So if you have a girl from age 8 to 18, bring them on. Let's work together. Thank you so much. I'll see you again next week. I hope you learned something. I hope it was worth your time. For everyone that stayed from beginning till now, I see so many. Okay, I see Mr. Lani, Peter, Mr. Kevin, Mrs. Oparami Blessing, and so other ones that the comments that, I appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted. I know that time is an investment of trust. It's because you trust that, okay, I will not waste it. That's why you are here. I don't take it for granted. See you again next Saturday. Bye.